live. What an amazing crowd all of you are, and I have to admit, today solved one of the great insecurities that I had. Because as I've watched Nicki Minaj come out and declare her support for the truth, for courage, and for wisdom,
which is crazy,
I've had this little nagging voice in the back of my head wondering whether she thinks I look like the J.D. Vance meme. And it turns out, and I confirmed when she walked.
You know, Nicki Minaj supporting Trump is actually like kind of surprising, seeing that she is one of these mainstream artists deeply entrenched in the music industry. So you would think her political leaning would be on the left, but let's be real and thank God, because Nicki, she's actually from the, well, no, she's from Queens, I believe. She's from Queens, right? Yeah, she's from Queens. So she's actually been in the hood. She knows the atrocities that go on there. And guess what? She also knows some people in the hood from California and LA, because she's, well, the gang around there is well tied into the gangs over there in LA. And yes, Nicki Minaj is actually gang affiliated. Believe it or not, I know it's surprising. But yeah, she actually knows what's actually going on in the hoods of New York and LA. So when the liberals try to feed her this BS, she's not hearing it. That's why she's on Donald Trump. That's what she's for Donald Trump when it comes to his crackdown on immigration. That's why she actually wanted Donald Trump to bring the National Guard into her city. And guess what? She's also loved the fact that Donald Trump actually came down on Nigeria about I'll be real with you, the genocide of Christians that's been happening since '09.
Down the steps, Nicki Minaj actually knows what I really look like. And that is the best tribute that I could possibly imagine. I have to start off with a note of gratitude. Erica, I cannot thank you enough for your strength, your grace, and your kind words of support for this administration and for me personally. You lead an incredible movement at Turning Point, and I will fight alongside you and President Trump and every patriot in this room to defend the country that we so dearly love. And when I say that I'm going to fight alongside of you, I mean all of you, each and every one. President Trump did not build the greatest coalition in politics by running his supporters through endless.
Like, bro, I'm sorry, but you don't know hip hop if you don't think that Nicki Minaj is popular. She's literally like basically the pioneer for these female rappers. If you don't know hip hop if you don't think Nicki Minaj is popular. Actually, she has probably one of the like most cult-like fan bases in hip hop. But like I said, a lot of people don't know that.
Self-defeating.
I don't even like the lady.
He says, "Make America great again because every American is invited." We don't care if you're white or black, rich or poor, young or old, rural or urban, controversial or a little bit boring, or somewhere in between. People of every faith come to our banner because they know that the America First movement will make their lives better, and they also know that the Democrats don't care about anything other than maybe transing their kids.
I mean, you know, transing kids and immigrants. I mean, they love putting illegal immigrants and legal immigrants over the American people. I mean, look what was going on in Minnesota. I mean, look what was going on in California when it came to their Medicaid system. So, yeah, that's one thing that the Dems have showed us, that there's two things they love to put over the American people: illegals and trans people.
So if you love America, if you want all of us to be richer, stronger, safer, and prouder, you have a home on this team. I didn't bring a list of conservatives to denounce or to deplatform, and I don't really care if some people out there, I'm sure we'll have the fake news media, denounce me after this speech. But let me just say, the best way to honor Charlie is that none of us here should be doing something after Charlie's death that he himself refused to do in life.
Shapiro.
He invited all of us here.
And don't worry, we'll get into Shapiro's speech as well. Because apparently the reason why JD Vance is saying this is because Shapiro just came out there and honestly went against everything that Charlie Kirk stand for. Like calling for the deplatforming of people, pretty much calling people's out for not talking ish about their friends. Like Megyn Kelly, I don't care if Candace owns your friends, you should condemn her. Even though, Megyn Kelly might actually agree with Candace Owens. I don't know, Ben, but it's kind of weird to think that everybody's just on your side. But okay.
Charlie invited all of us here for a reason, because he believed that each of us, all of us, had something worth saying, and he trusted all of you to make your own.
No, I love comments like this because it kind of shows how like secretly racist some of the Dems are. The migrant workers pick your food. Migrant work, put your food on your plate. No, not really. Actually, no. Migrant work don't put my food on my plate. To be quite honest with you, I believe the butcher puts the food on my plate because I do eat a lot of poultry. And then I would say, shoot, who picks the fruits in my area? I mean, there's a lot of kids that work on the farm over here in Ohio, so them too. But no, not just migrants. And hold on, is that all migrants are good for, you freaking racist? These migrant people do a lot more than just picking fruits. And if you knew anything, you also know that you're also sponsoring, well, I'm gonna be real, you're not sponsoring, but advocating basically for the slavery of these people because they don't get paid much at all. Sometimes they get abused on there. And let's be real, when we were hitting some of these farms up, ICE was hitting some of these weed farms up and food farms. They were finding illegal children undocumented children on there. Undocumented children. So when you sit there and say stuff like that, you're pretty much saying you're advocating for the slavery of these people, for the abuse, for the wage disparities, all that stuff. You're advocating for it.
Judgment. And we have far more important work to do than canceling each other. We have got to build, and President Donald Trump is a builder. We're building a better country right now, and you have a rightful place in the success of your
bro, I live in Ohio. If you don't know that, then I'm sorry, but you're kind of dumb.
Nation and
thank you, though. Thank you for proving that you don't know what you're talking about. So you can go ahead and sit down while somebody who actually lives in the state tell you something.
The success of this movement. And we build by adding, by growing, not by tearing down. Charlie Kirk was a great builder too. He understood that any family can have its disagreements, its tough conversations. We can learn and improve and treat one another better. We can love each other despite the disagreement. But winning demands teamwork. And I am honored to be on Turning Point's team. I'm honored to be on your team, and I will stay that way.
Jay, nobody's ever called me a watermelon boy but you. And you're the black guy here. I'm be real with you. The most racist people towards me be my own kind, dog. The people with the most vitriol towards me isn't white Americans, isn't white people in MAGA hats. It's pretty much people who share my complexion who happen to be liberals have the most hatred for me. So I'm sorry, bro, but you don't really know what's going on out here. But it is funny, though.
There's still so much important work to do, my friends. We're barely a year into this administration, not even a year into the administration. But I'm so proud of the accomplishments of the president and the entire administration. In just a year, we ended Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's border crisis.
Yep, with over 10 million encounters at the border, with a conservative number of about 4 to 7 million illegal entries that they try to lie about, pretty much saying that, oh, there's not a problem at the border. And then they want to sit here and cry saying that, oh, well, the Republicans shot down a border bill. The Republicans don't actually want a border. But then Donald Trump comes in office with no border bill or anything, locks up the border, which pretty much shows that the Dems purposefully neglected the border because they didn't need a border bill. They just needed to uphold border policy, just uphold the current immigration law that we had right now. That's all they had to do. And they didn't do it. They actually wanted to sit there and try to convince you that we needed a bill for what? A border? When you actually look at the bill, is really for foreign aid. Hey, they got you with that one.
December marks 7 months straight of zero releases at the southern border. More than 2.5 million illegal immigrants have left the United States, the first time in over 50 years that we have had negative net migration, and it's just...
Oh, that's what you're saying. Are you talking about the young Republicans' text messages? Okay. You know what's so funny, though? So, you know who Jay Jones is? Jay. I hope you know who Jay Jones is because you share a name. Jay Jones is a guy who is AG in Virginia right now. And he was caught in 2022. Actually, he was caught this year for text messages in 2022, wishing death on his opponent's children. Sitting there saying that he would shoot his opponent's children over Hitler. Sitting there saying he would love to watch his opponent's children die in his hands. I mean, did y'all condemn that? Did you make Jay Jones step down? Not at all. But guess what? In those young Republican texts, every guy who sat there and says something foul like that, they stepped down. Actually, yes, there was actually somebody who held a seat, actual politician, and he stepped down. So you know what that goes to show? That we actually hold our own accountable. We don't accept that over here. But y'all accept guys who wish death on children on y'all side. Because guess what? He's AG of Virginia right now. And y'all share a name. That's hilarious, though. So you should really be offended by this.
The start. When you restore sanity at the border, it shows up everywhere else. Rent prices are dropping 4 months in a row, and more native-born Americans are working than ever before. Kamala Harris opened the border and destroyed the economy. The Trump administration gave you net negative migration and much more job creation.
And if you don't know how immigration destroyed our economy, I mean, especially in the job market. So, of course, you got all your illegal immigrants taking all, I guess, the low wages to low skill jobs to mid jobs, like in the factories and all that good stuff. And then you got your H-1B visas. These are legal immigrants, so you can't confuse them with the undocumented. But the legal immigrants who would take all your tech job, medical jobs, and all your high skill jobs. While, the Democrats will tell you as an American that, oh, well, you're just not up to the task, or they're just better than you at it. No, you allow these companies to bring them in for cheap. You allow these companies to bring H-1B visa guys for cheap. Then you allow the border to be open so the construction companies, the farmers, factories can bring these guys in for cheap. And you guys are completely working for the corporate elites, but then you want to sit there and point at the Republicans? That is hilarious. And then there's guys like this who are stupid. It's like, there's kids working in the factories right now. You know that, right? Like 18 all the way out to like, 26. You know this. It's important to me that you know this and you're not in a bubble. There are kids right now out there in construction. You know that, right? Americans, not just illegals. It's important to me that you know this and you're not just a dumbass who just sits online all day. Like, hopefully you actually go outside and you actually see how there are a lot of young Americans who work these low-skilled jobs during high school, during college. Like, bro, have you ever been outside? Have you been to college at least? Because, I mean, you can go to college, you can see hella kids like this. I remember going to college and there was literally kids working on farms there. So I'm really looking at you like, bro, have you even been through life?
Real wages are finally growing. Inflation is half of what it was under Democrats. Gas prices are their lowest in years. And we have finally made it clear that in the United States, we believe in hard work and merit. Unlike the left, we stand against treating anybody. And I love what Nicki said about this. We don't treat anybody different because of their race or their sex. So we have relegated DEI to the dustbin of history, which is exactly where it belongs. In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to. And that's the thing. I mean, look, when people don't have a good argument, they make it about race. Like Jay. I mean, Jay can't tell you anything bad that the Republicans are doing, really anything. Can't really tell you anything that he disagrees with Donald Trump. I mean, and guess what? He didn't sign a bill. There was no bill. He said it in an interview that he wants to bring in 600,000 Chinese spies. I mean, students, because I don't even agree with that. But he said it in an interview. There was no bill signed. So you don't even know what you're talking about. That's the worst part about it. And then you still didn't, and then you still want to talk about, oh, well, they think that you're 2/3 or you're less of a human. What? A bunch of young Republicans that doesn't represent the entire Republican Party? So just because there's a small group of Democrats that want to sit there and trans kids and that want to make MAP an actual thing. If you don't know what MAP is, it's a minor attractive person. That's what was going on your side. They were trying to make pedophiles an actual thing, calling them minor attracted people. Remember that part. And that's not all of you. I'm not going to sit here. That's a very fringe. That's a very small group of Dems. But should I just sit there and be an asshole and just say that's all you guys? You're all just some pedophile lovers who want to make a minor attracted person a thing? While sitting there talking about how Donald Trump's a pedophile when y'all was literally trying to normalize them? But I guess y'all forgot about that.
And if you're an Asian, you don't have to talk around your skin color when you're applying for college, because we judge people based on who they are, not on ethnicity and things they can't control. We don't persecute you for being male, for being straight, for being gay, for being anything. The only thing that we demand is that you be a great American patriot. And if you're that, you're very much on our team. Just consider the contrast. Kamala Harris used the government to censor you. We're using in the Trump.
And I would say this, because, and this goes out to the white homies. So all my white homies out there, don't let nobody tell you that you cannot have an opinion on something because of your skin color. And trust me, this is even said to me, and people in my own community would try to tell me that, oh, I can't have an opinion on reparations because what? Oh, well, your parents, well, your great grandfather wasn't picking cotton in the fields with my grandfather. And I'm just like, yeah, but guess what? Reparations would still fall down on all the American people. So shut the fuck up. So yeah, don't let nobody tell you can't speak on something because of your skin color. You know what? This is one of the reasons why I like Nick Fuentes, even though I disagree with him when it comes to race and all that good stuff. But this is one of the reasons why, because he's actually teaching you guys that, yo, you can have an opinion about stuff. You don't got to be afraid of what other people say about it. You don't got to sit there and be afraid to be called racist, which should be dulling down on you guys by now. Like, y'all should be so sick of being called racist. It should be, honestly, being racist sound like being called stupid. It's just, whatever. Who cares what you think at this point? It's like, I'm gonna be real with you. It's played out. So y'all shouldn't even be offended by the word racist no more, or bigot.
Administration, the government, to protect your free speech, whether it's on college campuses or in the digital marketplace of ideas. Today, our military is welcoming patriots instead of firing them for refusing to accept an unlawful vaccine mandate. And to honor Charlie, but also to honor all of you, we're working to end the scourge of left-wing violence in the United States of America. We're going after the far-left crime networks, but we're also going after the monsters that fund them. We don't.
Yep, like Antifa, even though the Dems will sit there and try to say Antifa is decentralized, it don't exist. I mean, you know, they just have a website, a sign up, a daily newsletter, but they're not organized in any way, shape, or form. I mean, and they have a manual too, but they're not organized set. Like, okay, bro, you can keep on believing that.
Don't just want to go after the Antifa member who threw a brick at an ICE agent. We want to know who bought the brick, and we're going to prosecute them too.
Yeah.
We're making America healthy again with our great HHS Secretary, Bobby Kennedy. We're bringing drug prices down and purging our food supply of the poison that had built up over a generation. But my friends, there is so much more to be done. And the people saying we need to be doing more, we need to be doing it faster, trust me, I hear you. Greatness awaits every single one of you in the America First movement. We are
wrong. No, we're not, bro. I'm weak. You think we want to make y'all the enemy, bro? Hold on, bro. Who's calling who fascist? Who's pretty much trying to relate who to the Nazis, to a group of people that went out there and encamped people and slaughtered them? Who's trying to relate who to that? So I'm sorry, but you cannot say we're trying to turn y'all into the enemy. We're just trying to have a debate with you guys and then show you how ridiculous some of your ideas are. Y'all the ones who call us fascists, racists, bigots, and all that. So I'm sorry, dog, but you guys are the one that's trying to make us out to be the enemy. We're just here trying to talk to you guys. You're the ones over here trying to call us fascists and Gestapo and trying to relate us to a group of people that slaughtered millions of people. It's kind of ridiculous if you really think about it. And for that to even come out your mouth and think that it makes sense is hilarious. You must not be listening to your fellow political pundits.
Together, but we need your help to get there. Do you want more prosecutions? Great. So do we. Donald Trump and I have a list of better judges and prosecutors to enact swifter justice. So join us in the fight against the stupid Senate rules to stand in their way. Do you want faster deportations? So go to ice.gov/join, because we're building an army of patriots and we need good people who care about the country to help us secure the border and do it even faster.
Yeah, I mean, we actually need people who actually want to make America great, make America better, not make America more for the immigrants. Like, that's the problem with the Dems. Instead of making America better for their people, for the people in America, they just want to keep bringing in immigrants so they can maintain power. And that's just not what this should be about. I don't know what's wrong with Dems, but it kind of seems like they know they've lost the people. And since they know they lost us, they'd rather bring in a whole new group of people to replace us because they just don't trust us to vote for the right candidate, which in their eyes is them. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I like this chat, bro, because it's funny. Y'all are some goofies and it's hilarious. Well, not all of you guys, not you, bro. I'm not gonna be too hard on you. But he said I'm trying to call out Trump's actions of what they are as fascists. Name one. What's so fascist? Please tell me, and this is where you're gonna sound dumb, my friend. Please tell me where he's locking up people to kill them. Please tell me where he's locking up people because of their speech. Please tell me why you aren't locked up for speaking against the fear of Donald Trump. Because remember, we're in a fascist regime, bro. We're under a dictatorship, according to you guys. So how the fuck are you speaking against this dictator? Because last time I checked throughout history, like anytime you spoke against a dictator, your ass was getting hung. So why haven't you been hung yet, my friend? Please explain that to me. Because I don't want you to get hung, and I want you to have your freedom of speech, and you do. So it's funny how you sit there and express your freedom as an individual in this fascist nation. It's just so amazing, bro. It's absolutely amazing how delusional you guys are. But if you would like to invite me into your execution because of your words against fear of Trump, I mean, please go ahead and send me the email.
Do you want rents to keep dropping and wages to keep rising as they have over the last few months? Then mobilize with us. Don't hand power back to the people who tanked the economy in the first place. Join the America First movement, and you will always have a place on our great team. Next month will be the official one-year anniversary of the Trump administration, and I am damn proud of our record so far. Now, the Democrats are already talking about 2028, and it looks like they're going to nominate a California liberal who's presided A California liberal who's presided over rolling blackouts, open borders, and unchecked violent gangs. They're just trying to settle on whether it's going to be Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, what are the Democrats offering you in the meantime?
No, here's the scary thing about the Democratic base, and this is not all of you guys, but some of you guys are very concerning because no matter how unaffordable your politicians make things in your state or city, no matter how dangerous they make things in your state or city, all you got to do is blame Donald Trump and you guys will vote for them again. You will keep voting for the same party that keeps putting you in under heavy taxes and crazy crime, and then they'll sit there and blame Donald Trump. It's like, think about it like this. There's people in blue states who are talking about affordability, right? And rightfully so, because prices are still going up because inflation is, well, what? It's not at 0. It's not at 1%. It's at 2.7, even though that's an improvement. But I get it. The thing is, though, is that y'all can't really talk about affordability when in my state of Ohio, I pay 30% less than you guys in groceries. And I'm talking about that's in a blue state. If you want to go from, let's say, New York, California, Colorado. I mean, pick a blue state, and 9 times out of 10, I'm paying less in a red state. Actually, you guys can just look this up yourself. It's actually pretty fun to do. I like to do it all the time. All right, so let's go over here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and mainstream it for you guys. You know what the F I'm talking about. My life elsewhere. And this is a pretty cool website. I mean, you can compare city to city, country to country, and you can compare it on the affordability of living or cost of living. So this is one, red state, Ohio. Shout out Ohio. And then there's my people over there in Minnesota, where my sister's at. Now, as you see, Minnesota versus Ohio. Minnesota is 10% more expensive than Ohio. And I mean, bro, please give me your favorite blue state. Give me your favorite blue state. And I promise you, you will be paying more. You will be paying more. I mean, of course, New Jersey is overly expensive. I mean, look, if you're in New Jersey talking about groceries, I feel bad for you, cuz I really do. And I don't want to talk shit, but I mean, bro, I'm paying like 36% less in groceries than people in New Jersey. So I'm sorry, guys. What you pay 100 for, I'm paying like $70 for. I'm sorry. It just works out like that. Blame your leadership, because it's not because New Jersey's a nicer place to live, has nicer attractments and all that, or has a nice amusement park. No, it's none of that. Ohio has way more attractments or have way more attractive features than New Jersey. The problem is that, well, New Jersey loves to attack the hell out of their people. And for some reason, the Dems think that's something to brag about. They actually think that, well, oh, my state must be nicer because I pay higher taxes. No, it just means that your politicians are some assholes. And when you sit there and look at the numbers, 9 times out of 10, you're paying way more. I mean, bro, just look at childcare. Look at childcare. I mean, I don't even know how y'all doing it out there. But if you is, though, you a real one. You out there putting in that work in New Jersey. Me? I'm putting in that work too, but I ain't got to pay as much as you. But all right, let's go back to our man, JD Vance. Oh, guys, and make sure to double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Appreciate the support. If you have any question, comment, jokes, or disagreements, or just want to support the show, just send $2 or up or a gift. Appreciate it, guys.
Meantime, I got to say, ladies and gentlemen, they are not sending their best. Omar Fateh was Ilhan Omar's candidate for mayor of Mogadishu. Minneapolis. Little Freudian slip there. The candidate for Senate in Maine for the Democrats calls me a Nazi, which is rich coming from a guy who literally has a Nazi tattoo on his chest. And Jasmine Crockett. Oh, Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, Jasmine.
The record speaks for itself. She wants to be a senator, though her street girl persona is about as real as her nails. But ask yourself, what do all of these people have in common? And the unfortunate answer is they are puppets. They don't actually matter. They are cogs in a machine that wants to make you poorer, that wants to make you less powerful, and wants to make you less safe in the country your ancestors built. And while President Trump and I are doing everything we can to break that machine, the left is still there, my friends, and they are still very powerful. Don't delude yourselves.
No, they don't.
It's the activist groups who want to poison your kids with hormone replacement therapy and toxins in your water supply. It's the corporate boardrooms pushing diversity quotas while whining about the fact that Donald Trump won't let them ship American jobs overseas anymore, and boo-hoo to that. It's the rogue district judges who issued nationwide injunctions every time the president lifts a finger. It's the Soros DAs who cheered on as their cities burned. What unites them? They win when our country loses. They get rich when you get poorer. They hire the illegals that they bring in to take your jobs. They drink fine wine in the countries they ship your jobs to. They censor you because they'd rather destroy the Constitution than risk losing an argument. They bring in millions of voters because they know they can't win the argument with the people who are already here. And you know what else unites them? We are going to kick their ass next November and every year after that.
I mean, shoot, hopefully, if y'all fix affordability, like I said, I mean, I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene when she said Trump needs to park Air Force One and focus on domestic policies, aka affordability. Now, if the Dems could take on affordability and make sure prices are going down across the board by midterms, then yeah, it's looking all good for midterms. But if the Dems are still able to harp on affordability and the Republicans are just going to ignore it, then yeah, I could see how the Dems would take the midterms, even though these guys are the worst on affordability. As I showed you, they run the most unaffordable cities and states. But like I said, they don't really got to run on fixing affordability. They just got to sit there and point on how bad the Republicans are doing, which is honestly a decent strategy. I mean, it's reasonable. I'm not going to sit there and get mad at them for it. Hey. That's my main goal.
Part of the American dream is the idea that we're all, every single one of us, on the same team. We're all part of the same American family. If you want to destroy that, do what Democrats have done, not just for the last 5 years, but for the last 30 or 40. Make one race the enemy of another. Make one gender the enemy of the other. Make Americans suspect and despise each other instead of loving their shared country. When I think about some of the most impassioned debates happening in our country, the nature of citizenship, of what it means to be an American, it all speaks to an obvious truth. Americans are hungry for identity. We're hungry for belonging. We're hungry for a sense of our place in the world. And it's no surprise why. For many years, our fellow Americans have been dealing with a globalized economy that homogenized cultures and hollowed out our towns. Academics and activists pushing race and gender politics down everyone's throat 24/7. Big tech overlords using their internet platforms to censor stories that challenge the dominant far-left narrative in our country. More than any time I can recount, people are talking about American identity and figuring out what it is that unites us. But I want to say something here. The only thing that is truly served as an anchor of the United States of America is that we have been, and by the grace of God, we always will be, a Christian nation.
No. See, this is low IQ, Nicki. I'm sorry, but what you said is low IQ. So tell me how allowing illegals in so they can work for these corporations that they could pay less, so they don't have to pay an American worker, you know, that minimum wage or a livable wage, but they could pay that illegal. How is that not working for the corporate elites? Allowing the corporate elites to bring in all types of H-1B visas and allowing them to scam the H-1B visa systems to undermine our American scholars. How is that not working for the corporate elites? You want to explain? Oh, the Obamacare healthcare subsidies, sending our taxpayer dollars, billions of dollars to insurance companies, which guess what? Since we've been doing that, their portfolio has raised or their stock prices raised while things have gotten more unaffordable for the American citizen. Oh, my bad, but healthcare premiums have gotten more unaffordable for the American citizens. How is that not working for the corporate elites? Please tell me, because it seems like you don't check your own side, sis.
Now, I want to be explicit because, of course, the fake news media will twist everything that I say. I'm not saying you feel about them the same way I do. I'm not saying you have to be a Christian to be an American. I'm saying something simpler and truer. Christianity is America's creed. The shared moral language from the Revolution to the Civil War and beyond. Across that history, our country's major debates have always centered on how we could best as a people please God. That creed, think about it. That creed motivated our understanding of natural law and rights, our sense of duty to one's neighbor, the conviction that the strong must protect the weak, and the belief in individual conscience. Even our famously American idea of religious liberty is a Christian concept. Because we're all creatures of God, we must respect.
Don't know about that part. I'll be real with you. I don't know about that part now. The freedom of religion is a Christian concept? No, that was just something the founding fathers came up with on their own. Nowhere in the Bible does it really say you are free to practice other. If anything, it condemns it. It condemns it. Actually, we've had Christian nations before that condemn the practicing of other religions. So no, this is not a Christian theology. It's not a Christian concept. This is actually something, this is why I respect the forefathers so much. It's something that they came up with on their own, that you should be able to live in this country and practice whatever religion you want. I mean, shout out to my man, Thomas, what was it? Yes, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, two of our presidents, two of the founding fathers owned copies of the Quran to express that, yes, we even want this to be a country to where you could practice this religion in as well. If it was a Christian concept, trust me, it would have been in the Bible. We'd have been able to source it out in there. But I don't really like how they're trying to fuse that all into Christianity. Trust me. I love Christianity. I love Jesus and all that good stuff. But we're not going to sit here and say that, oh, well, the principle of the freedom of religion is a Christian concept. Not really. Shoot, I don't even think any religion preaches that, to be quite honest with you.
Individual's pathway to that God. But over the last 50 years, there has been a singular focus, a war that has been waged on Christians and Christianity in the United States of America. And let me say, of all the wars that Donald Trump has ended, that is the one we're proudest of. For decades, the left has labored to push Christianity out of national life. They've kicked it out of the schools, out of the workplace, out of the fundamental parts of the public square. Freedom of religion transformed into freedom.
I mean, yeah, we took out religion and left in nihilism. We replaced it with nihilism. Now these kids are just the most negative people in the world. Don't even really see a future or just have this doomsday scenario. So yeah, we replaced religion with nihilism.
From religion. And in a public square devoid of God, we got a vacuum. And the ideas that filled that void preyed on the very worst of human nature rather than uplifting it. They told us not that we were children of God, but children of this or that identity group. They replaced God's beautiful design for the family that men and women could rely on and turn to one another with the idea that men could turn into women so long as they brought the right bunch of pills from Big Pharma. They had all the religious fervor of a zealous convert without any of the grace or forgiveness of a true Christian. Scripture tells us, by your fruits ye shall know them. And we might ask, What are the fruits of these people and their principles? And the answer is a man named Tyler Robinson who killed my friend. Think about it. He has everything that the far left want from our young men. He rejected the conservatism and the spirituality, the values of a small town family. He moved into a small apartment. He became addicted to porn. He became addicted to hate. And he ended up sleeping with somebody who doesn't know whether they're a man or a woman. That is the nightmare scenario, but that is the scenario that the left has actively advertised they want for American families. And the young men in the audience in particular, that is exactly why we have to fight them. Because the fruits of true Christianity are men like Charlie Kirk. The fruits of true Christianity are good husbands, patient fathers, builders of great things, and slayers of dragons. And yes, men who are willing to die for a principle if that's what God asks them to do. Because so many of us recognize that it is better to die a patriot than live a coward. I'm going to tell you something I haven't talked about publicly before, but in the days after Charlie's death, I struggled a great deal. I'm sure many of you did too. I remember watching every video of the assassination, looking for clues, trying to understand what happened. I try to hide my friend and that terrible bullet hitting him, but I would try to look around. I stayed up all night.
All right, now I got to grill you point by point, Nicki, because I let you slide. But hey, look, I'm in the chat today. I'm grilling people in the chat today. I'm having fun. All right, guys. So shout out to Nicki because, like I said, it gets more and more ridiculous. Like, Nicki, do you know in the Inflation Reduction Act, you know, under Biden, that they are the ones who set the Obamacare healthcare premiums, the enhanced Obamacare healthcare subsidies to expire? You know that, right? They're the ones that set it to expire. So how is it Republicans' fault when the Dems set the expiration date? You want to make that make sense? Because you probably can't. You probably can't make that make sense. But then you brought up the Genius Visa. No, the Genius Visa is the O1 visa. That's what you're talking about. An H-1B visa is different from the O1 visa. So you might want to, learn about your visas. Because I call the O1 visa the outstanding one visa, and that should be the only one that we have. Because for people with special skills, that's O1. The H-1B visas is what a lot of these medical companies and tech companies use to undermine American scholars by bringing these guys in for level 1 positions, but they're actually doing level 2, level 3. I'm sorry that you're not too educated on that, but hey, at least I'm here for you.
For many nights in a row, researching every conspiracy theory, going down every rabbit hole. When my lovely wife, Tpusa, told me to come to bed, I told her I owed it to Charlie to try to uncover every stone. And so that's what I tried to do. I remember I was consumed by this fear that Charlie's death wouldn't just deprive a family of their husband or of a good father, but that it would deny our movement of a great unifier of people and a great doer of great deeds. It's the only time I can remember my wife ever telling me that she was really worried about me. She told me it many times. But what saved me was not lying to myself, but accepting the reality of the fight that we're in. Charlie's death was an immense loss, an irreplaceable loss. We got kicked in the teeth, my friends, and there's no sugarcoating it or pretending that it didn't happen. We need to accept that. And what saved me was realizing that the story of the Christian faith, like the story of these United States of America,